Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, we're doing the best of Game Changer 2021 as we get ready for the Hammerstein Ballroom debut of Game Changer Wrestling this Sunday with the world of GCW for the first time ever available on pay-per-view, not only Fight TV. I'll be watching on Fight. But yeah, just the world's going to get a chance to see Game Changer Wrestling for the first time if they haven't already. It's kind of a cool deal. I like the fact they're going to Hammerstein, the old ECW arena. And so it's like kind of that New York feel for the indies, like ECW had back in the day with Heyman and everything, and the WWE's done some stuff there. It's a great light on Game Changer Wrestling. The one thing that I hope it doesn't do, I hope it doesn't change Game Changer. Game Changer Wrestling to me is you've got scramble matches. You'll have the brass ring ladder match. You have world title matches that have blood. Hopefully Moxley and Homicide will do that for us. We have up-and-comers like a Jordan Oliver that can go out there and show their stuff, kind of like ECW was. But you do also have that blood aspect of it, the death match aspect of it, where you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, half the time there's not an apron on the ring. It's kind of that, grungy underground feel. Hopefully that doesn't change the bigger the company gets. But you know what? I'm all for it because it is a great company. I've been following it for a couple of years now, really getting into it. So in 2021, there was 450 matches total. I watched them all. I actually star rated every single one of them. So I'm going to do the best 25 matches on this show. So those 450 matches, 380 were men's matches, 29 were women on women, and then 41 intergender. So there's a lot of intergender guy versus girl, tag match, etc. There's 46 shows total. Now, in those 46 shows, there was the 9 shows for WrestleMania weekend. There was the 24-hour Fight Forever show back in January. You had multiple 2 and 3 day weekend shows. It's one of those things where if you've never watched the Game Changer show before, give it a chance. Don't just watch one match or one show and be like, oh, this is trash. It's really not. I mean, yeah, they do backyard wrestling on July 4th weekend. They do some, death matches. To me, a true death match has got glass, it's got light tubes, it's got, chairs and everything. Tacks, etc. And some of these matches, I think, there's a couple death matches in here. There's actually an intergender death matches on this list that you'll be really shocked to hear. But yeah, there's an intergender death match on here. War Games match is actually the best match I have on here. So yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of everything here. There's 2 of my favorite independent wrestlers going one-on-one, no gimmick, no nothing. There's a fuckery boards match. Yes, you heard me. Fuckery boards match. Yeah, that'll be fun to talk about. But yeah, there's a 120-minute Ironman match. So yeah, Game Changer should have a little bit of for everyone. If you're new to Robert Sports Show, welcome. If you're a returning viewer to Robert Sports Show, welcome back. As you can see, things have changed a little bit behind me. For the last couple weeks, I've said, things, life happened. I'm getting behind on videos. As you can see, the life happened because I moved. So we're going to get started on here. Number 25 came from May 15th, 2021, GCW Draft Day. It was an intergender singles match. It was Bad Boy Joey Janella versus Alicatch. This was a really good match. Joey Janella, I would say, made his name in Game Changer Wrestling, but his TV name has been made on AEW, on Dynamite and Dark. Alicatch, normally she teams with Effy. It's an intergender tag team called Bussy. They are just, she is one heck of a wrestler. Not even a woman's wrestler, a wrestler. Joey Janela did get the victory here. I did give it 3.5. Number 24 came from November 13, 2021. It was the GCW Nick Gage Invitational, 6th annual. It was an intergender singles match. It was Alex Colon versus Charlie Evans. Alex Colon is in 2021 became one of the best death match wrestlers in history. He's won their big tournaments like 3 times in a row. The 666 tournament. He's won the NGI Nick Gage Invitational tournament multiple times. When we get to Hammerstein Sunday, that's the one person that I wish was on the card was Nick Gage. I don't think without Nick Gage, Game Changer would be where it's at. And I only say that because Game Changer was around when he was in prison, but because of the Dark Side of the Ring show with Nick Gage, because of Nick Gage going on TNT, AEW Dynamite, and wrestling Chris Jericho in a, yes, it was classified as a death match, but it was a very generic death match that Jericho won. But having Nick Gage on national TV, I think, gave exposure to Game Changer, and the announcers talking about it, and Excalibur talking about where he came from and who he was and his life and stuff. But yeah, he's one guy we still wish was on this card, but he's not. But yeah, Alex Colon getting the victory there. I give it 3.5 star. Number 23 comes from No Signal in the Hill from August 7th, 2021. It was for the Game Changer World Tag Team titles. It was the Second Gear Crew champions defending the titles versus Bushi, which is like Alicatch and Effy, and there was the Second Gear Crew, Mance Warner and Matthew Justice. These tag titles, actually were in Mexico for about 3 years, 2 or 3 years. They were basically, I don't say being held hostage, but being held hostage, because they were defending them, and you literally, the team that won them was in Mexico. It's like, you got to go to Mexico to defend them. Jimmy Lloyd and I can't remember who Lloyd's partner was that day, but they went to Mexico and they were able to win the tag titles back and bring them back to the U.S. Second Gear Crew beat them for it, and then since then the Briscoes are now current GCW. Yeah, them Briscoes, J. Mark Briscoe, are the current Game Changer tag titles. But here, the Second Gear Crew got the victory. I did give it 3.5. Number 22 on the list, we have from August 20th. 2021 GCW Off the Rails. It was an intergender match. It was Dark Chic versus Jimmy Lloyd. Dark Chic, kind of like Alicatch, one of the top wrestlers in the Indies, no matter where she's at, going against Jimmy fucking Lloyd, Bad Boy Jimmy Lloyd, not Bad Boy, Jimmy Lloyd was like a death match god. I mean, he's one of those guys that he just don't give two craps. He'll do whatever he's got to do to win a match. He took Dark Chic here. I mean, she stayed right with him, but, at the end of the day, Jimmy Lloyd got the victory, 3.5 star. Number 21 on the list comes from December 3rd, GCW So High in Texas, intergender singles match, Sadika versus Effy. Sadika, again, she's kind of like the same as Dark Chic and Alicatch. One of those women who just goes out and wrestles. She's one of the top on the indies versus Effy. To watch Effie's matches, you kind of got to understand Effie is the way Effie is. And if you've never seen Effie, you'll see him at Hammerstein. He's going against Jeff Jarrett. Effie's just a little different. But yeah, it's like he makes Game Changer. That's what I'm saying. I don't want Game Changer to change. He makes Game Changer what it is. Those kind of characters, those kind of personalities. You will never see him, I think, on a weekly TV show, unless Game Changer happens to get one. But he's not going to go to WWE or AEW. He's not that type. He also through Game Changer, he does WrestleMania weekend and some other weekends as well. Effie's Big Gay Brunch, which is some great talent on those shows as well. But Effie got the victory here and 3.5 star. Number 20 on the list. This is one of those WrestleMania weekend shows from April 9th. It was part of the Game Changer, the Collective Remix 2021. It was day 2, show 7. It was Game Changer, our Spring Break, formerly known as Joey Janela's Spring Break 5. It became our Spring Break from the 440 guys because they beat Joey Janela and they got the naming rights for the pay-per-view. Craziness. But yeah, this is one of those 9 shows that happened over WrestleMania weekend. Billy Starks versus Starboy Charlie. It's a really great matchup. Starboy Charlie is kind of an up-and-comer, young, kind of, I would say, cruiserweight kind of level guy. Billy Starks, another one of those independent women who go out there. She can wrestle guys, she can wrestle girls. She doesn't really matter who she wrestles, but she has great matches. Some of those women who've done it in the past are currently on NXT 2.0, part of Toxic Attraction, though both of them women with Mandy Rose were part of the Indies as well about a year or so ago. But in this match here, Starboy Charlie got the victory. I did give it 3.5. Number 19 comes from July 9th. It was GCW with a combination show with Local Fight Club, Houston. It was for the Game Changer Wrestling World Heavyweight title. It was an intergender match. It was champion Nick Gage versus Sadika. Seeing a woman like Sadika going against Nick Gage in a death match, and this was a death match. It was just incredible. She took it to Nick Gage. There was a couple points in that match, which that's what I love about some of these matches, when it's believable that either party could win. Because there's some matches you're like, there's no way, Amos and AJ Styles in a real fight. There's no way AJ Styles is winning it. And there are times where you see, even back in the day, well, Royal Rumble '93, Scott Hall and not Scott Hall, Razor Ramon and Bret Hart. You know that, okay, I don't see this character as a champion. I don't see this person beating this person. I mean, insert any name there you want. You got to believe it to understand the match is going to be what's going to happen in the match. In this match here, did I once believe that Sadika was going to beat Nick Gage? No. But there were times in that match where it's like she would have Nick Gage down, and the referee's counting. They're like, okay, 1, yeah, whatever, 2, what? Oh, it's like he kicks out. It's like you get that one moment of like, can she beat him? Can she win this? Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch, you knew Liv Morgan wasn't winning it. But that's what makes some matches believable. When that person, there's no way this person's winning. They almost win. Can they? So it gives you that little more to watch it with. Nick Gage did win this one. I did give it 3.5. Number 18 on the list comes from July 10th, 2021. It was an intergender tag match at GCW. You Only Die Once, July 10th. Effy versus Alicatch. This match was good because it was tag partners who were kind of having some problems at the time. It's almost like when Mark Briscoe and Jay Briscoe, they just had to go fight on the farm just to kind of get some things out, and then they were fine. Same way with Boosie here, Effie and Alicatch. They just go out there and kind of fight it out and kind of clean their systems out a little bit, and they're good. Alicatch got the victory over Effie. I give it 3.5. Number 17 on the list was actually a women's match from GCW to Infinity, which was December 31st. It was the last show of 2021, which the main event of To Infinity was the first show of 2022. This is 2 years in a row that Game Changer has done that, which is kind of neat. The wrestlers come out, they celebrate New Year's in the ring, and then boom, we have a new match. First match of the year. And it's been G-Raver, I believe, the last 2 years. But in this match here, Charlie Evans versus Alicatch. Like I've talked about both of them, two very talented wrestlers. Not just women's wrestlers on the indies. Charlie Evans has traveled here from Australia. She's on a tour of the U.S. because, obviously with COVID going on, you leave the country, they don't want you back for a while. And so she's just doing a lot of tours in the U.S. and stuff, which is great to see talent like that can move around. Even Robbie Eagles has left Australia and gone to New Japan and gone to Europe and stuff. Charlie Evans as well has done some stuff in Europe with Rev Pro and stuff. But again, two very talented women here. Alicatch got the victory, 3.5 star. Number 16 on the list comes from December 4th. Game Changer Wrestling, So Alive. This was a doubleheader show with So High. Both of them were in Texas. This was Thunder Rosa versus Alicatch. Yeah, that Thunder Rosa from AEW Dynamite, from NWA Power. Thunder Rosa, when she gets in an environment like this, it's just amazing how great she really is. I mean, we've seen that with the match she had against Dr. Britt Baker, the Lights Out match. It's almost like it helps her in certain environments like this. But yeah, that match was phenomenal here. She got the victory over Alicatch. I gave it 3 3/3. It was borderline 4 star. I may have to go back and rewatch it to see if I'd go 4 with it. But yeah, number 15 on the list comes from June 6th. Zombie Walk. It was a 6-person intergender tag match. It was Boosie, Alicatch, Effie teaming up with Everett Connors, going up against the Second Gear crew, one called Manders, Mance Warner, and Levi Everett. One thing about when it comes to teams like this, Second Gear crew, Manders, Warner, and Matthew Justice, they have a lot of friends with them as well. They here they had Levi Everett come with them. They've actually done some stuff with Boosie and Alicatch and Effie. He's kind of an honorary member of the Second Gear crew. They'll help each other out and do stuff. But the fact they can go out there on a 6-person tag match like this and put on a great show. Second Gear Crew did get the victory here. That was one called Manders, Mance Warner, and Levi Everett. I gave the match 4-star. Number 14 on the list. This was kind of a I don't say a build up. There was quite a build to this, but it was kind of a unique build to it. The show was GCW Fight Club, October 9th, 2021. It was for the Game Changer Wrestling World Heavyweight title. It was champion Jon Moxley versus Nick Gage. As we know, several months ago, probably May, June, Mox showed up on a Game Changer show and attacked Nick Gage. The two of them have history from CCW back in the day. Back what would that have been, like 2004ish, I think, before Mox went to WWE. And they were tag team partners at one point. They had history and stuff. He comes in and attacks Gage. Well, when everything went down with him signing with AEW and stuff, this is after he signed with AEW, but some things that happened when he was champion AEW, and all of a sudden you had a person show up, attack Nick Gage, all dressed in black, did the little the shake that Mox does. Come to find out it was Matt Cardona, and so Matt Cardona ended up champion. Moxley ended up beating Cardona for it, and now Nick Gage got his rematch. And so it had that kind of all-summer build-up of Nick Gage, the history that Gage and Mox have. And here we go, Mox retaining his title versus Nick Gage. I gave it 4-star. I thought it was one great match. It's just amazing what Moxley can do in different genres of wrestling, you know. Catch as Cats Can, the deathmatch scene, hardcore, you know, all that stuff. He can even do great in the ladder match. We've seen what he did with the Shield and whatnot. He's just a great storyteller. I'm glad he was able to get healthy, and here he is going to be back soon. He's going to be back on Sunday with the Hammerstein show, and then also this Wednesday it was announced he'll be on Dynamite. So that's cool to see his return. Can't wait to see what happens to him. But that was a 4-star match, and Moxley beating Nick Gage. Number 13 on the list comes from January 30th. The Fight Forever show. They had different segments, had like 17 different segments if I remember correctly. This was an Ironman challenge. It was the Synergy World Heavyweight title on the line. It started as a 60-minute Ironman match. It was champion Jordan Oliver and Tony Deppen. Both these guys do wrestle for Game Changer time to time, but this was a Synergy wrestling title match, but it was on that Game Changer Fight Forever show. And it ended in a 60-minute time limit draw. And neither wrestler wanted it to end. And of course, you know, the people were chanting 5 more minutes and all that stuff. And Jordan Oliver's like, why don't we just throw 60 more minutes at it? And so it was a 120-minute Ironman match. Yes, it dragged ass. Oh, it dragged ass. That is the longest wrestling match I've ever watched. Maybe one of the longest wrestling matches ever. But before that, the longest I ever watched was a 93-minute match between Chris Hero and CM Punk, which half of that match dragged. I mean, overall, this match was good. I give it 4-star. I mean, could it have been higher than 4-star? Possibly. Would Meltzer gone like 5.25 with it? Probably. Yeah, who knows? But he doesn't rate matches like this, which it's one thing I love about doing Game Changer stuff. You don't find a lot of videos about Game Changer on YouTube. You don't find a lot of star ratings out there for these matches. From what I've found on ProFightDB, which is Dave Meltzer's site, I've yet to see any ratings. Maybe one here or there for a title match, but for general card, you don't see them. And so there's another guy on YouTube that I've watched some of his videos and I've kind of interacted with him. He does some Game Changer stuff. But yeah, there's only very few of us out there. So I can't wait to Hammerstein. We get a preview of that bad boy up. But yeah, this number 13 here was a 4-star match. Jordan Oliver defending the Synergy World Heavyweight title versus Tony Deppen. Next up, actually the next 2 matches both come from the same show. They come from July, so number 12 comes from July 24, 2021. GCW Homecoming Day 1. It was a 2-day show. We have the Game Changer Ultraviolet title versus the Big Japan Pro Wrestling Deathmatch title. We have Alex Colon representing GCW. Drew Parker representing BJW. Deathmatch title versus Deathmatch title. These two are just kings of the death matches. This wasn't just an extraordinary great death match to me. 4-star. Drew Parker actually winning both titles. So that was crazy to see. This is one of the very few true death matches I've gave 4-star to. But it's like, when I'm watching a death match, it's like it's got to be the right amount of glass, the right amount of light tubes. You can't have too many light tubes because too many light tubes really don't, really do a lot for me. You gotta have doors. You gotta have doors. You gotta have the door. When you do the 2-panel doors versus the 6-panel doors, they're kind of fancier doors, so it's kind of cool, more cool too. You can kind of see, when you go to watch these shows, you're like, they got a lot of doors. So you go down to the local Home Depot. We need a truck full of doors. Thank you. What's cheap today? But yeah, you gotta have the right chemistry of each object. You can't have too many light tubes, too many doors. You can't have too many of this. It's gonna kind of be even across. Maybe add some tacks in there, maybe some crunched up glass. But yeah, I'm really getting into, you got to have the big spots, over the top, or off a ladder, off a high spot, through a glass, either through a piece of glass or through a door. You got to have those spots as well. But here, Drew Parker getting the victory, winning both titles in that 4-star match. The number 11 was for the Game Changer Wrestling World Heavyweight title, death match. We had champion Nick Gage versus Matt Cardona. This is the match that has allowed, despite what I feel, Matt Cardona to call himself the king of the death match. One good death match, dude. I mean, really? Matt Cardona beating Nick Gage. Nick Gage is the relevant king of death matches, along with Alex Colon. Nick Gage is kind of the godfather of death matches, I would guess you would say. He made death matches cool. But Matt Cardona getting the victory here. 4-star match, becoming a Game Changer Wrestling. And he's taking that, king of the death match moniker way too damn far. But yeah, he got the victory there. 4-star. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. But all right, number 10 on the list. Is that right? Number 10 on the list? Yeah, we're number 10. Comes from, August 7th. Game Changer Wrestling. No Signal in the Hill. This is a straight up singles match. One thing about these two guys, they're two vastly different styles, but styles make fights. AJ Gray versus Lee Moriarty. Lee Moriarty we've seen on AEW, on Dynamite and Dark and Evolution. AJ Gray, just this tough, fighter almost. Pretty much he's a fighter. He's actually also sometimes part of the Second Gear crew. Seeing these two different styles, just the fighting style and then the aerial style just kind of clash. These two went out there and put on a great show. AJ Gray getting the victory. I give it 4-star. So I'm not one just to throw out star ratings either. So this was a really good match for me to give it 4-star. Number 9 on the list comes from the same show, GCW No Signal in the Hill. Just another singles match. We had Chris Dickinson versus Starboy Charlie. The same kind of deal, two vastly different styles. Starboy Charlie is just a young cruiserweight, kind of off the top rope kind of guy. And then you've got Chris Dickinson, the dirty daddy. He goes out there, can submission wrestle, mat wrestle, can just punch in the face and move on. And he can also do some dives. These two guys had such a great chemistry in this match. I give it 4-star. Starboy Charlie and this is that match where you watch, okay, Chris Dickinson, Starboy Charlie. My first thought is, Chris Dickinson's winning this. There's no way he doesn't. And you start watching the match, and you have that, can Starboy Charlie win this? Then when he does, it's like, oh my God, Starboy Charlie just beat Chris Dickinson. That is amazing. This match was so good, and their chemistry was so good, they ended up teaming up after this. They're actually a tag team now. Dickinson got hurt. I believe he tore his knee out. He's out for quite a while. But they were tagging together after this match because of this match. Number 8 on the list comes from the WrestleMania weekend shows. The Collective Remix, Day 2, Show 7. The R Spring Break, FKA Joey Janella Spring Break, number 5. We had the Game Changer Wrestling World Heavyweight title. We had former champion, or at this time, champion Ricky Shane Page, RSP, the leader of the 440 versus Nick Gage. Two guys who have put Deathmatch GCW on the map, and neither of them, as of right now, are on the Hammerstein card. sad. I hope there's a reason for it. It's just not an oversight. But this match was really good. I know Ricky Shane Page is wanting to get away from the death matches. He's been doing some stuff on AEW Dark and doing some stuff in other parts of the indies. But yeah, this match was really good. Nick Gage get the victory, got his title back. I gave it 4-star. Number 7 on the list comes from GCW to Infinity. It's a regular old tag team match, and that's the cool thing about Game Changer. Not everything involves light tubes and glass and doors and tables and ladders and kendo sticks and this, that, and the other. You can have just a regular generic old tag team match, and they had one here. We had Alex Zane and Blake Christian, yes, 2 of my favorite indie wrestlers, versus Deontay Leone and Ninja Mac. Yeah, there was quite a bit of high flying because Ninja Mac, all he does is fly around. Deontay Leone, I mean, he is just a young up-and-comer guy who just goes out there and has great matches, with, especially when he's in there with talent like he was here. Just this kind of the Lucha Libre style is my favorite style. Blake Christian, I've talked about him as a young Will Ospreay. He's probably Will Ospreay 5 years ago. Kind of like a Jordan Oliver. If he can put on some more mass, more like upper body strength like Ospreay has, I think he could be that world champion anywhere he goes. Him and Alex Zane have so much chemistry. You can put them together here, 4-star tag team match, because they got the victory. Or you can have them opponent each other, which, wait, there may be one of those matches on here. But yeah, that's number 7. It's a great old generic old tag team match. Alright, number 6 comes from Tournament of Survival 666, June 5th, 2021. This is a deathmatch tournament that they have every year. Alex Colon has won it 3 years in a row. But this was a Fuckery Wars match. You heard me. It was G-Raver versus Effy. G-Raver is just that dark creature that if you met him in a dark alley or met him in an alley in general, you're going to run the other direction and hide. He actually literally almost died in the ring. Him and Jimmy Lloyd had a match. And G-Raver got cut right here under the arm and he hit an artery. And he almost bled out. It was pretty bad. It took him a long time to recover from that. When he did finally recover, he came back to wrestling. Him and Jimmy Lloyd had a feud over it. And then they've kind of moved on from that feud. But this was one of those matches, it's like, you couldn't just look away from it because it was so good, but it was so bloody. G-Raver got the victory. I did give it 4-star. Next up, number 5 on the list comes from July 25th, GCW Homecoming Day 2. Again, this is the 2-day show, July 24th and 25th. This was with a death match. This was Drew Parker, who was a deathmatch two different deathmatch champion, versus Jimmy Lloyd. Again, one of those shows. It's like just incredible how talented both these guys are. 2 vastly different styles. Drew Parker's more of that daredevil kind of deathmatch. Jimmy Lloyd's more power and everything. And again, styles make fights here. Drew Parker got the victory. I did give it 4-star. Number 4 on the list comes from December 17th, Blood on the Hills, Blake Christian versus Alex Zane. Again, not every match has to be a death match. Not every match has to have blood. This one did not. These 2 guys just went out there and put on a show. They know each other so well. They're a great tag team. Hell, they had a 4-star tag match. Let's go 4 1/4, 1-on-1. Alex Zane, Blake Christian getting the victory. They could redo this match tomorrow. It would probably be Alex Zane winning in a 4 1/4 star match. I mean, this is one of those matches where, you know, I compare it a lot to Edge and Christian, Shawn and Tripp back in the 90s. You can put them together, you can tag them, whatever you need, they'll go out there and deliver for the show. Number 3 on the list comes from April 9th, the GCW Our Spring Break from the Collective Remix. Chris Dickinson versus the bad boy Joey Janella. Surprisingly enough, this match was really phenomenally good as well. Joey Janela is a kind of generic bad boy, I guess you would call him. And he don't go out there and do a lot of quality matches. Most of his matches sometimes are just there. You get him in the ring with somebody like a Chris Dickinson, who I would say is probably one of the top 10 independent wrestlers in 2021 before his injury. They have a great match here. Joey Janela get the victory here. I give it 4 1/4. Number 2 on the list comes from Game Changer Wrestling Tournament of Survival 666 on June 5th. It was a no canvas let's see here, No canvases, 200 light tube death match. Alex Colon versus Atticus Kogar. I like Atticus Kogar. I didn't like him at one point. I do like him now. He is part of 440, one of the heel factions in Game Changer. People literally, this dude walks out. He's probably, I think, I'd have to look up and see. He's not a big guy at all. Let me look. See if I can find some stats on this guy. But he is one of those guys, you don't want to cross him. He's got a look to him that you're like, yeah, I don't want to cross you, dude. Because you look like you could hurt me. But he's just, you put him out, he's 24 years old, so he's a young kid. I don't have it. Yeah, he's 5'10", 161. So he's a cruiserweight. But he wrestles, I don't say dirty, but when he wrestles, he has these skewers he sticks in his pocket. His only goal during that match most of the time is not only to make you bleed, is to take his handful of green skewers and put them right here and just bash him in your head. And you just kind of smirk about him. And everybody boos him and flips him off when he comes out. But it's like, I think he's pretty cool. Alex Colon, like I said, Deathmatch King. He's won the tournament 3 years in a row. He'll wear vintage basketball jerseys to the ring. And they're white to start out with, and they're just covered in red when he's done. He's bleed all over the place. It's crazy how much one person can bleed. But Alex Colon got the victory here. And I give it 4 1/4. Main event, the number one on here, main event, I guess start called the number one match of 2021 for Game Changer Wrestling. Came from September 4th show, The Art of War Games. This is a legit War Games match, same as you see on NXT 2.0. This was Team MDK. MDK all fucking day. AJ Gray, Alex Colon, Effy, Mance Warner, Matthew Justice, and Nick Gage. So, Second Gear Crew joined up with Nick Gage and Effy to take on 440. Now, 440, like I talked about, they are that heel faction in Game Changer Wrestling. It was Atticus Kogar, Bobby Beverly, Eddie Only, Eric Ryan, Gregory Iron, and Ricky Shane Page. Ricky Shane's the leader of it. These two factions literally just went out there and put on one hell of a fight. And we've seen War Games. This is the War Games you would see on NXT or WCW back in the day. More violent. But the team of MDK got the victory here. Nick Gage, Matthew Justice, Mance Warner, Alex Colon, Effy, and AJ Gray. Second Gear Crew, along with Effy and Nick Gage, got the victory here. 4.5 star. I mean, this match was just unbelievable, phenomenal to me. But that is, of the 450 matches in 2021 for Game Changer Wrestling, that is the 25 best matches. So I cannot wait to do the preview of the show this weekend at Hammerstein, and then I'll do a review of it as well. But yeah, I'm an avid Game Changer watcher on Fight TV. They're all on Fight TV. This one will be on pay-per-view for the first time ever. But as always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. If you've never subscribed to my channel, please just hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Robert Sports Show. Otherwise, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.